Hi, welcome back. It's time for A Woman for Women, and I am that woman. My name is Susan Maud Buchser-Lochocki. I am a presidential candidate from the 2020 presidential election, the 2024 presidential election, where I'm still a candidate. I have not conceded because there's a lot of fraud in the system, and I have a lawsuit pending with the Supreme Court. And then I'll be running again in 2028, if all goes well. So, welcome. And then for fun, my real job is being a mom and an artist. So, right now I'm on the road and I'm really tired. But it's, I need to get this message out to all the people, all the women out there who are interested in hearing what I have to say. It's also not exclusive to women. Men can watch it too. So anyway, welcome. So a couple of things I want to mention, because the videos that I'm making on the 8s, this is just the 8, so it's really about you. It's about becoming the best you can be, and being special, finding your speciality, and finding your niche in the world. So what I can say is that really think hard about what you want to be and do and contribute. How do you want to contribute to leave the world better? I think that's the best way to talk about this. Then for me, I've found various things that need to be addressed. And so I'm doing my best to address them. I need to write them down, actually, so I make sure I cover everything. And because I don't really have time to go back and watch all the videos to know what I've already said. But you are special. And you should be treated special by you and by others. And you should have a level of tolerance and boundaries. And I say this because if you don't, the users, they will come and they will use you. And they're going to flatter you and take advantage, and it's not a good place to be. So make sure you have boundaries. It's important for your own health and safety. So what I can say is that I've been talking a lot about orgasms because I know that there are still women who don't know what an orgasm is, and maybe young girls don't know, and so I want to make it normal for women to know about them, to experience them, and to talk about them. A lot of women don't know about orgasm or have never experienced one because of religious reasons, mostly. There are some very oppressive religions out there, and orgasming is healthcare. So you want to do this once in a while and have an orgasm. Whether your sexual partner can do it or whether you do it yourself, it doesn't matter. But it relieves stress, it cleans out the vagina, and gets your body aligned again. Plus, I do believe it's meant for being used with pregnancy. And on the 28th, I'll be talking about that. But this, on the 8th, I talk really about becoming more ourselves. But I will say that And I need to say this because back in 2020, I was at a spa area, and there were some men who were using the jets coming out of the wall to have an orgasm there in the water. And it's just, unless everyone in the water is there to have an orgasm, it's not really appropriate to do it in public like that. You know, we have bedrooms, we have bathrooms, we have locked doors where we can go and be private. And that's where orgasms belong. They're not really something that should be maybe happening in public, although I say that with a caveat for women because it's pain relieving apparently, and it helps to bring the baby into the right position to deliver the baby. So for women, sometimes it might have to happen in public. In the birthing process. Or even perhaps it could be that female orgasm is also associated with breastfeeding. I know that's a very strange concept to talk about, and actually this should be talked about on the 28th, but right now I'm just mentioning it because I was at a swimming pool recently, and there was a young lady who was using the jets to have an orgasm, and it was weird. So swimming pools, jacuzzis, they're not, there's no orgy going on. So it's the wrong place. It's just the wrong place. Do it alone or do it with a partner. And if you want to go to an orgy and do it there, go. You know, there are orgies out there. So you could definitely go and do that. But if you're the only one, and there's 20 to 30 people there, just, you may want to think about it. Why are you doing it? To get attention? To feel superior? I don't understand. So it's out of place then. And so just think twice before you do that. But I do recommend it. I recommend, not it, but I recommend having an orgasm. And I recommend doing it more than once every week. And it releases stress and just makes you less edgy. And it could be useful when you have a period and you're having your cramping. It could be useful then too to help open the cervix quicker so that you can, go through the period process quicker. But it just doesn't belong in a swimming pool where there are people of all ages, and you just don't want that. So I really wanted to get that in once to really stress that. And then I guess the other uncomfortable thing I want to talk about is makeup. So makeup really started with Mary Kay and husbands abusing their wives. And wives had to call up their Mary Kay representative, and she would come over and help apply makeup to cover up the abuse, the black eye or the black whatever, or the broken nose, or who knows what. So somewhere along the line, though, then it became really regular to put makeup on, and really pancake type stuff, caking on lots of makeup. And I'm going to say it's not necessary. What you're telling the world, really, if you use a lot of makeup, is you don't like yourself. and you're trying to make up for whatever you think are your flaws. Where there are people out there who love unique features. So if we all, paint over our features, then you're just getting that girl next door every time, and there's no uniqueness to you. So you need to learn to embrace your uniqueness, especially on your face. And with that said, one thing I noticed when I was raising my daughter is that she had a lot of sweat, and or oil, I should say. And what I discovered is that if I changed her pillowcase more often, that her acne would go away. And so I'm going to say that some people have naturally more oily skin, and then it's prone to zits and acne and all of this sort of stuff. Plus also diet plays a big role. So, and a lot of our today's diet is actually not our own fault, some of it, because they're hiding chemicals inside that we don't know about, and they're using bad quality products inside. So some of it is not really our fault that we're putting bad things into our bodies, especially if we're hungry and we're at a place where there's nothing to eat but food from a gas station. Then you know that that's over processed food. It's been dead already, for forever, and you shouldn't put it into your body, but you got to put something in, right? So I get it. We can't always eat salads every day all the time, and but sometimes acne is from just natural processes of you. You might be somebody who has more oil, or maybe it's things that you're eating, or allergies that you're having to the things that you're eating, or allergies you're having to things on your pillowcase. And what I discovered is that if I changed her pillowcase, then the acne would go away. So then I started changing it more often. Now, I noticed that, I think it was about every 3 days I would change her pillowcase, and that seemed to do the trick. It kept her skin clean, and, of course she was also cleaning it herself, but I think that really helped. And I think for some people it might even have to be changed every day. It depends on you and what you're capable of doing, like are you somebody who has very oily skin, or there's also people who drool when they sleep, so this can also be a contributing factor. And so just think about it. Change your pillowcase more often than once a week, maybe even 5 times a week. I don't know. You find out what's going to work for you. So that should take care of a lot of the acne issues, and then you will have the confidence to go without makeup, I think. A lot of women I know use makeup to cover up acne scars and whatnot. So I can't say no to that. And I also went through a period of time where I was wearing all kinds of makeup. I've gone through so many different makeup styles, and being an artist, I've gone to very extreme looks too. So, playing around with makeup and using it to enhance our personality is one thing. To be more artistic or more assertive or more expressionful or something, that's one thing. But to spend hours trying to make yourself more beautiful when you are already beautiful is not necessary. What we all need to do is come to terms with who we are and how we look. For me, I always had very thin lips, and it bothered me, but eventually I accepted it. And for a long time too, I listened to other people, and I plucked a lot of my eyebrows, which I'm so sorry I ever did that, because once you pluck your eyebrows, they don't come back. Not all of them, anyway. So then I had patchy eyebrows for a while, and now they're gray and blonde, so you can't see them anymore. Then I'm old enough where I've got some hairs that in my eyebrows that like to grow longer than others, so you got to trim those, perhaps, maybe. But you need to be comfortable in your face, and that's where it comes to. Also, a lot of the plastic surgery that I'm seeing being done on faces and stuff, I think there are plastic surgeons out there that don't like certain people, and they extra do it in a bad way. So buyer beware. It's better to learn to like your face than it is to spend tons of money on surgeries you don't need. Truthfully. You are perfect, whole, and complete just the way you are. Just the way you are. So, I don't know what else to say. I think you need to work, if these issues touch you in some way or make you think, yeah, you're right, maybe it's time to step back a little and don't use so much makeup. The last thing I want to say, and I think this happened like in the 50s, when I went to Egypt years ago now, I found out that they put this coal type stuff in their eyes, and then it left the nice black line around the eye, and a lot of people thought that was makeup. And although it looks like makeup, it's actually a health treatment to wear away the outer layer of your eye, to keep it thin so that you don't get cataracts. So it's actually a health treatment and preventative of cataracts. It has nothing to do with beauty and everything to do with health. So, when we look at Egyptian images of the people back then, and they have the black lines around their eyes, it's about health. It's not about beauty. And, I'm like you, I only found this out recently, so it's new news to me, but it is the truth. So, anyway, just think about that, and ultimately, healthy is what we're going for. Because if you're healthy, you're going to live a long and fulfilling life, and that's what I wish for all of us. So, I guess I'm going to stop there. And, yeah, you just keep going, keep finding out who you are and what you want to be and do, and I guess this is more for the younger ladies or the ones who are maybe returning to society from some sort of situation they were in. And yeah, I don't know, maybe it helps somehow. So, right, I am right now without makeup, and I'm also tired. As you can see, my eyes are not very open. It was a stage for me because, in 2020 when I started with the running for president, I was doing my eyebrows and making up for things that I lacked. And slowly over the years over 5 years, I eventually moved to no makeup, and my skin is happier. Yeah, I save a lot of time not putting it on. And when we look at men on the street, they're not usually wearing makeup. So, why should we? If they don't feel they have to make themselves pretty for us, why should we have to make ourselves pretty for them? So just, again, think about your reasoning. And as I said too, for some people it is a necessity. For some people to feel normal, it is something that's needed. So I am not talking to you. This is not a message for you really, except for the fact that you do what feels right for you. But if you think you can go without makeup, then I advise you to go without makeup. Your skin will be happier, you'll save time, and the true you will be seen. Yeah. So I don't know what else to add, so I'm gonna say goodbye. Thank you for stopping by, and I wish you a good time until next month. A woman for women. Have a good time. Bye for now.